name is Emma Ward, this is Jenna Becker, and we are members of our Stansbury High School FCCLA chapter. We are level 2 participants, and for our event management portfolio, we decided to plan a black tie blue jeans gala.
So this is our table of contents for our portfolio. And this is our evidence of project summary submission form. This is our FCCLA planning process form and our evidence of eligibility forms as well.
And this is our event volunteering experience. To summarize, Jenna and I took a couple of our FCCLA members and went to Clark and Johnson Junior High to promote FCCLA and Family Consumer Science career pathways to the 7th and 8th graders that inhabit the school. We did this through a series of activities and entertainment that took place over the course of their lunch periods. This is just a continuation of our volunteering experience. You can pause and read more if you'd like, but that's a summary of what we did.
And then this is us at the actual event, and then over here you can see us preparing for the event.
And this is our event proposal introduction. To summarize, the Black Tie Blue Jeans Gala is an actual event put on annually by the Friends of Tooele County Children's Justice Center, and it raises money, which is a non-profit institution, and it's the biggest fundraiser they have, and it brings in a lot of donations to help support their cause. All of the profit goes towards the Tooele County Children's Justice Center, which helps them help children who have suffered physical or sexual abuse. We as event planners planning this event will plan all aspects of it and find all of the services needed to make this event a success. The needs and services required of us from our clients will include the following: possible event dates, venues, staffing, volunteers, timelines for everything, knowledge of several supplies and vendors, and an activity schedule, in addition to things like our budget. We will provide and plan all of these aspects and more.
So as far as event experience, we have both helped plan many events for FCCLA, for schools, and outside of schools for things like church events.
And our event goals and objectives: the main goal is to raise money for the Tooele County Children's Justice Center. Through admission fees and auctions, we hope to raise money as well as advocate and inform all the attendees about the mission and goals of the Tooele County Children's Justice Center. And then this is our evaluation of event goals and our objectives. And in order to tell how well the event was executed, we will base it off of the total donations compared to how much money the event cost to put on. The difference between these two things will give us about how much money the Tooele County Children's Justice Center will actually gain from putting on this event. The minimum we want to reach is $50,000 for the Tooele County Children's Justice Center to be able to spend on making lives better for so many children. Another way we'll be able to tell if our event is a success is whether or not the estimated amount of people we think will show up actually show up. The closer the number is to the estimated amount of guests we will have will be better, because we'll be basing things like food and drink orders based off of how many people we think will show up. So if less show up than we anticipated, we will have wasted money on a lot of food that isn't going to be eaten. We want to avoid things like that to make sure this event is a worthy success.
So event dates and theme. For our theme, we chose April Showers Bring May Flowers. This isn't common for this event. Normally this event is a Halloween theme, but we wanted to mix it up a bit to get new people interested in the event and to give something new to patrons who have already been to the event several times over. With this in mind, we thought a date in May would be best. May 15th is a Saturday, so most people would have time off of work to set aside for the gala. May 22nd is also an option, but we would suggest the May 15th date, since May 22nd is around the time that most kids will be getting out of school, and if patrons have children, they will want to be with their kids. So this is our first venue. It's Deseret Peak Complex. Here's a map of it and several of the venues that are available at this. So we would be using the convention center, which is only a small portion of it, but it would be big enough for our event, and it could fit as many people as we needed to for the event. Something very nice about this is we could split it into 6 sections, and so for the different parts of our event, we could split it up and be able to usher people around as well as we needed to. The price would also be very good for our budget.
And this is our second venue option, the Utah Motorsports Campus. We would rent the east and west day garages, which would cost $1,000. That may be a little more pricey than our first venue option, but the space would include almost 13,000 square feet, 20 garage bays, 60 feet wide by 215 long dimensions, 4 bathrooms, 16 stalls each, 2 classrooms, each classroom seating about 25 people, and overall we can see at least 400.
So this is our activity schedule. So this is basically what the event would entail. So first we would have a social hour, and it would start at 4 p.m. and go to 5:30, and it'd be $50 for an entrance fee or $75 per couple. This would be using a marketing tactic where we would get more people to come in because it would overall cost them less money. And then we would have a Children's Justice Center presentation, and they would just talk about what they do there and how they want to help the kids. That would be from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it would be no fee. Then we'd have a dinner with would be included in the entrance fee, and it would be from 6 to 7. Then we would have a silent auction and a dessert from 7 to 8 p.m. and it would be $100 per couple or $170 or $75 per person. Again, using that marketing tactic. And then we would have music and dancing from 8 to 9, included with the silent auction and dessert fee. And then we'd have a live auction from 9 to 10 p.m. And it would be $300 for a reserved table of 6.
And then, as previously mentioned, our main event will be auctions. And if guests bring something to be auctioned off, they will get a $10 discount on their admission fee, once again implicating a marketing tactic. Local businesses will also be asked to donate things to be auctioned off. There will be a silent auction while the dessert is being served. They can walk around the room and write down on the bid paper what they would like to bid on a coordinating item. There will be a starting price, and then on the paper there will be a written minimum increase requirement. That is the minimum amount of money they have to bid up in order to beat the bid before them. Finally, there will be a live auction where people can auction off live on items being sold with their number cards. Seats at the live auction will be sold by the table for $300 for a table of 6. And this is our projected attendance, and we are expecting to have, as previously mentioned, at least 400 attendees. Both of our venues can fit those numbers and more if needed. We figured this information from the information we got at the Friends of Tooele County Children's Justice Center, who are the people that actually put on this event every year. Combining the information that we gathered from them and the square footage of our venues, we figured out how many people could actually attend and how many came to the events like this in years prior. Putting all this together, we can expect a minimum of about 400 guests to about 500.
So this is our event personnel chart. On the left, you can see all the different staff and personnel that would be helping at the event. And then right here, you can see all their duties and jobs they would perform during, before, and after the event.
And this is our volunteer recruitment strategy, and volunteers' duties would mainly consist of helping to set up and clean up this event. They may also be asked to do things like help florists and caterers if they are in need of assistance. Another task they would be asked to accomplish is acting as ushers and showing everyone around where they need to go throughout the event. We are expecting to have at least 20 volunteers. The main recruitment strategy we would be using is social media. We would make several posts explaining the event and asking for volunteers. Posters might also be made and hung around town for the same purpose. Only about 7 volunteers would need to stay for the entire duration of the event. All the other volunteers would only need to stay for about an hour before the event starts and an hour after the event ends. And then in terms of health and public safety, we would address things like health, public safety, and crisis management. We will keep our security measures visible, develop emergency plans, screen our staff, keep emergency exits visible and easily accessible, and keeping attendees updated on our overall safety and emergency plan, in addition to seeing what safety plans are offered through each of our venues.
So this is our planning and implementation timeline. It's basically how we would get the event to actually happen. You know, like when would we contact the caterers, the florists, things like that.
And then our target attendees slide, it has a quote that I pulled directly from the website. Quote, as a community, we value children and families. Children in our community are being physically, psychologically, emotionally, and sexually victimized every day. Although we can't possibly stop every act of abuse, we can make an effort to be aware and assist as many of these children as we can. Fragmenting the process by which we investigate these cases of abuse has proven ineffective and oftentimes traumatic for child victims. The Children's Justice Center refocuses on the child's need for safety and bringing diverse systems together to better serve the needs of the family, child, and community. Unquote. With this in mind, we want to invite as many people as we can, of all demographics, with the intention of advocating for awareness. We want to welcome anyone who is interested, so more victims of abuse can be brought to light and properly helped. We will promote mainly through social media, so anyone who has access to social media can be informed. Some people may be more or less eager depending on their situation, but ideally we want to cover the most ground possible. And this is our event marketing slide, and we have pre, during, and post marketing tactics that generally can be summarized as using social media to promote using hashtags, stories, Twitter posts, anything like that, and we would plan to where our target audience is, once again being everybody, so as much ground as we can cover. During marketing tactics would consist of giving guests an opportunity to talk to the people involved, during things like auctions to raise money, and in addition to given time for our hosts to talk to our audience and advocate. Post-marketing tactics would basically be encouraging our audience to go forward with what they learned and apply it more in their lives, and to create a network for people interested to get involved.
And then you saw on the last slide and on this slide here, we have our logo that we created. She actually made it. And then for recruitment strategy, again, just social media, these are some samples that we created for you. And then this is our event flyer. So it just basically gives all the information guests would need to know. And again, it has our logo. So caterers, we have two different options. So Olive Garden is an Italian restaurant. It's nice and classy. It would be a little more expensive, but it would be very nice overall. And then we have Cafe Rio. It's a Mexican restaurant. It'd be a little less expensive, but it is still a really nice meal for them. And then florist-wise, since our theme is April showers, bring May flowers, most of our decoration would be floral, and so we would spend about $2,000 on the florists.
And then our paid event staffing would consist of one server for every 15 guests. As we plan to have 400 guests, we plan to hire about 30 servers. We will pay our staff $10 per person per hour, and we will hire them for about 6 hours, rounding out to about $1,800 for the general staff, in addition to hiring a DJ for $75 an hour for 1 hour.
So this is our first budget option. So basically what we did with the budget options was we took all the different caterers, florists, and we just put them into different options. So this is our first option. We would have the florist with $2,000, the staff for $1,875. We'd be going to Olive Garden. The dinner would cost $7,000 and dessert would cost $1,000. And then the venue rental, which we would, for this one is Deseret Peak, would be $1,180. That would lead to $13,055 total for this event.
This is our second projected option and budget. And this, we would have the same florist and staff options with about $2,000 for florist and about $1,875 for staff. But rather than Olive Garden, we would be catering from Cafe Rio, and the venue would cost, once again, $1,000 for the Motorsports Campus, which would round out to about $11,675.
So these are the questions. What is one skill that we have learned or improved upon during our project that you will use in school next year or in the future career? Something that I personally learned about was time management, getting all these things planned, being able to communicate with all the people that we call to get information on. It was really important that we learned time management and good communication.
I think we underestimated how much time we would need, quite honestly, and what obstacles cause challenges, and how do we address them. Obviously, COVID-19 was a huge setting factor. Going back to our Clark and Johnson presentation, we had to do all of that accommodating COVID-19, which was frustrating at times, and we couldn't actually see the Black Tie Blue Jeans Gala through, which is a little upsetting, but planning it was nonetheless still quite an experience. So,
yes,
thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope you liked it. Thank you.
Thank you.